Hello, it's me, Josh Hunter. Um, I'm presently in Santa Monica, California, and this is there are these times when people are particularly like kind of irritating, not kind of, very irritating, and they just won't leave me alone. Um, so this is kind of a reaction to that. I don't know if I'm like I don't understand why people have not yet perceived like the inevitable consequence of like being deliberately irritating. Like if you don't know you're irritating, that's fine. Like if you know, like you're just deliberately. If you're like the people I've been like dealing with like my whole life, like people who just love to see me get upset. I mean, don't haven't you like reviewed your own movie? See how that plays out. Anyway, so a couple of days ago, I got this idea for like I think you should have like marriages that are like to find out who has the best marriage. Because I mean, sometimes people compete, but we need like an official thing to say like, okay, these people have the best marriage. Like literally, like there is no one who has a better marriage. And I think you should get like at least like 10 or perhaps even 20 marriages, like your top 20 marriages, because there's got to be different like categories, different tiers. Like not everyone is going to have the same type of marriage. You can't have like I mean, you're gonna have people who have marriages like marriages with kids, marriages like with one kid, marriages with no kids. You have like a complete like system. It's not. I guess it's a competition, but I don't know. I think it'd be pretty neat. So I was thinking, you could. This would be like an official thing to get like the best marriage. So, because what happens usually they say like in a capitalistic society like free trade, right? Free trade stops war, right? That's my New York sense of humor. Okay, all right. So I'm saying like you get some like real marriages, like people like who are like professionally married, like these are like a professional husband, a professional wife, like they. I don't know. It's not necessarily that they like take it too seriously, but like these people know how to fucking be married. And once you get like these examples, you're gonna stop having people getting married like who don't know like what they're doing. Like you'll have like real examples to help them out. So I was thinking like, it's all right. So once you start the marriage, you have the various categories. You got your standard like marriage with no kids, marriage with one kid, and all the way up. And each area is like the type of each each area, each category. You know your what do they call it? Like like boxers. What do they do? Like they've got like a. Sorry, I'm not like I don't know. I'm not upset. It's just like people just like I can't understand why they don't get why they're supposed to like leave me alone. Like I'm not a violent person, but there are complex things going on here, and I don't know what to do. It's like you gotta. Normally, I would just make myself absent. Okay, I would not be here. I would not expose myself to the mass of mankind because they do not understand why they're not supposed to be bothering me. And it will become very clear. Like it's not like this isn't a threat. Okay, there's a nature to reality, a structure to reality that because you're a human being, you got to follow certain rules. Like you can't avoid following these rules. Like you got to breathe air, right? You got to drink water, right? So I'm trying to say like you can't be bothering me in this way. Anyway, so um, so I think after a couple of years of doing this, like where it's like, okay, these are the top 20 marriages of all time. Like these are the best marriages. I think you're gonna get some real good marriages, and some people may want to take it like a step further than that. So in addition to this idea of having like professional marriages, I think there should be something called a super marriage. Now, super marriage is it's like when you've got like two top-notch, like it should be like I think like a legal thing, like something that you can actually, like there should be some kind of legal benefit to it. I mean, tax write-offs, all types of things. But like when two like really great married couples get married, that's a super marriage. Like when couples when couples marry, like that's like a super marriage. And I think the only way it could be like legally possible, like they have to be like like top 10, top 20 marriages. Like no like common person on the street should be getting like a super marriage. But like after like years and years of having, I won't say it's a competition or a contest, but just say like heavily judged married couples. Like, well, not judged, but I mean, you know, people. I don't know, after years and years of people doing this, like getting used to the idea of like what a real marriage is, like what a good adult marriage looks like. I think you should have. I think you should have like a type of something called a super marriage, where these couples, like after they've proven year after year after year that they are the best married couple, that like if need be, and I don't know if I should limit it to these like the top teners, the top 20, the people or whatever. I think there should, I don't know, that obviously, people would decide what is more comfortable to them, but when you get like two couples who are top notch, because if you just get like people who aren't top notch and then they get married, then you're just gonna have like a mess. Okay, you're gonna have people who barely even know how to get married, then they think, oh well, we're pretty neat, maybe we should get a super marriage. Like there'd have to be like a very definite fixed set of rules and guidelines to getting a super marriage. Because then what? Like if you have kids, okay, and then they get kids, and then what? Does that make these two couples, does that make them like related or whatever? And all types of rules have to go into it. That's why it's already like there's always they've already got to be professional married people. Okay, people who have credentials, trophies, certificates, things that are like that prove that they're good at being married. And yeah, so once you have the super marriage, then you'll have couples. So then what? I don't know how to take it from there, because we don't have those good examples yet. But I think this concept, because you might think worrying like, oh well, what if your wife or whatever gets more like close to the other guy or whatever, and that type of thing, but the other guy's wife doesn't get very close to you, and well, that's why they're professionals. I mean, that type of thing. It seems unlikely that would happen, because that only happens when you're generally dissatisfied and emotionally lazy. So I think if you were professionally married, you would see the warning signs when anything threatened your when anything threatened your marriage, you would know. You'd have a sense. Like when dogs bark when there's about to be a fucking earthquake and that type of thing, you'd have a sense. Anyone who really truly valued their marriage, like it was like a fucking precious jewel or diamond or something, you'd know it. You'd steer clear away from the needless bonding that would have some detrimental effect upon your personal matrimonial well-being and all that. So I wasn't even gonna say this, but I just like this. People keep coming up to me, like ask me pointless questions. Like they ask me questions like they know something. Like, oh, I'm asking you this question because I know, but you don't know. Because if you did know, you wouldn't be asking me this question. I know that sounds kind of vague. I'm just trying to maintain my sanity. I don't have like any spotters here, and things seem to be getting heavier by the day. Like I'm trying to understand the things that are going on here on the earth. Like what kind of world am I living in? And I don't know what to do. Like I'm trying to achieve a balance, but like people like they refuse to say like, oh yeah dude, like this nah, whatever. I'm not complaining. Just so you know, I'm not complaining. I just like I have been wrong about a lot of things, but not really. I'm wrong now, but I'm right later, if that makes sense. Okay, like it just seems like I'm wrong, and after enough time. But I don't know. Anyway. So, as a part of my theme of this channel, I do talk about marriage quite often, but it's just my go-to thing. I still don't believe that anyone would actually want to marry me. I mean, after you've spent a lot of time with me, it's like, how many times can you go to Magic Mountain, right? Okay, alright. Speaking of which, Magic Mountain, I mean, one of my did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? I don't know if they still have it at Six Flags Magic Mountain, but there's a ride called Colossus. It's like a completely wooden roller coaster. That's the only ride I like at Magic Mountain. I don't like roller coaster rides. I don't like amusement parks. To me, it seems kind of like offensive, generally, to have like a giant amusement park while, like, you know, there are people like fucking dying in the gutter. I know that's kind of like slightly pretentious for me to say that, but I mean, I have a hard time knowing, because when I say it, I'm not saying like, oh, it's wrong for this. I'm saying like, how much is this costing me? That's what I'm talking about. Like, because I know that there are people like starving to death and dying needlessly, like, and then I'm gonna go on a roller coaster ride. Like, I gotta think to myself, all right, have I paid for this? Meaning, like, is this, how close to me are those people dying in the gutter is what I'm saying. Are they a part of some type of family that I'm not aware of? Is it possible that like there's a type of unity or sub-unity amongst every human being on the earth, and that even though these people are like on another continent or some other place, their death is just as important as, you know, someone dying in my own family? And has that, like, am I aware of that? Is that real? Is that true? And what is my responsibility to that situation? Like, is this really the time for me to be getting on a fucking roller coaster ride? Not to say that it's my responsibility to it's not necessarily my responsibility to save like the dying people of the world or the dying, you know, starving people or whatever. But if I decide that I'm gonna, like, what I have, just like quietly, like doing quiet things, staying at home quietly is not enough, that I gotta go out and show the whole fucking universe that, you know what, even though I'm in the same fucking room and building as this person, I think it's time for me to have a good yuck with me and my family. Well, I don't know, maybe you go to amusement parks by yourself, I don't know. I feel bad for these people, like, who are like trying to annoy me. Like, they have no they don't know like what they're doing. They used to have, like, all right, I'm not a tiger, first of all, okay, but there used to be this phrase or saying called "Don't wake a sleeping tiger." Okay, it's like just a bad idea, you know. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Don't touch my toes, first of all. And I'm not a tiger, but I'm just saying, you should have a sense of your own life. Like, people live their lives like people aren't living their lives like they could die any minute, is what I'm saying. We are living in a world where pretty much most people, like, you could die at any time. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. Like, why did this person die? I don't know. Why did this person die? And there doesn't seem to be any reason why. And you'd think if life is so unguaranteed, people would be walking around saying, you know what, this shit's fucking precious. You know, I think I'm gonna treat life a little differently. I'm not gonna fucking grab life by the horns and fucking take it for a joyride. I'm gonna be quiet and humble with life, and we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna treat life like it's some delicate thing, and not be so goddamn rough. Bark, bark, woof, woof. Who let the dogs out? I got my 5th subscriber. It's pretty neat. Like, every day, like, all right, not every day, but I mean, I'm at this like a couple of years now. So every subscriber means so much to me. So if you're my 5th subscriber, that means you subscribed to me like within the last like week, 2 weeks. It's now like mid-June of 2020 AD. So thank you, 5th subscriber. I know I should have thanked the other subscribers directly, but I don't know. It didn't slip my mind. But anyway. Let's just say I'm thanking each one of my subscribers. The 1st subscriber, the 2nd subscriber, the 3rd subscriber, the 4th subscriber, and now the 5th subscriber. I'm thanking all you guys for, you know, I mean, you're not watching, but I mean, you at least, you know, you're sending a diplomatic signal, which I appreciate. So, all right, thank you very much. I'm 33 years old, and I have the best grades on earth.